So you want to be a car dealer selling shiny new vehicles? You buy inventory from manufacturers, display them proudly, and collect huge cash payments. A $30,000 sedan that costs $25,000 invoice is solid profit. That looks like a healthy margin in the cutthroat retail automotive industry. So here is the brutal question that should stop you cold right now. If vehicle retail margins are decent, why do so many dealerships struggle? Industry data reveals that a surprising number face massive financial pressures annually. The real truth is that you are not really in the car business. The physical vehicles parked outside are actually the cheapest part of everything. Tonight, we break down what you are truly buying when opening a dealership. We will follow the real money from the first vehicle floor plan dollar spent to the final commission paid on the very last finance and insurance product. We will see why the window sticker price completely lies to you about the complex financial machinery operating entirely behind the showroom glass doors. And by the end, you will understand the massive inventory machine hiding outside. Let us start with what almost nobody understands about running a car dealership. A dealership looks like a place that simply sells shiny cars to buyers. It is actually a massive high-stakes financing and inventory carrying cost machine. A busy franchise store does most of its operational survival through service bays. Between routine maintenance and warranty work, the entire parts department carries the weight. Outside of service, every single day sitting on the paved lot costs real money. So you are not just selling cars, you are managing massive holding costs constantly. The faster inventory moves off the asphalt, the more of your capital survives intact. A slow-moving model year is not a minor headache, it is bleeding cash forever. Every aged unit sitting in inventory is profit slowly evaporating into thin air daily. Now hold that crucial principle because it dictates every operational move you make next. Before any sales happen, you have to survive the massive capital outlay of opening. Most people imagining a dealership never picture the staggering financial bill behind the facade. The total cost to open a franchise automotive dealership runs into millions of dollars. Most new independent operators launching smaller lots land between $500,000 and millions. And the single biggest expense is not the fancy showroom furniture everyone pictures first. It is the massive real estate acreage required to display hundreds of vehicle inventory. Paving massive lots, modern service bays, customer lounges, and secure storage yards cost fortunes. Real estate acquisition and construction alone can easily run millions before selling a car. This is why smart operators look for pre-existing dealership locations with established zoning permits. Taking over a former franchise site with service lifts installed saves an absolute fortune. The inventory itself, the actual cars you imagine first, require a massive funding strategy. Commercial vehicle financing relies entirely on a specialized mechanism called floor plan lending lines. A bank pays the manufacturer for your stock and you pay heavy daily interest. Add specialized diagnostic tools, heavy hydraulic lifts, parts inventory, and computer systems together. Your total equipment and tooling bill lands somewhere between hundreds of thousands easily. Then come the quiet administrative costs that ambush every first-time automotive dealer at once. Manufacturer franchise fees, dealer licensing, state compliance bonds, and expensive municipal environmental permits. Legal counsel, floor plan auditing fees, DMS software subscriptions, and commercial liability insurance policies. And then the critical number that quietly decides whether your dealership lives or dies. Working capital, the massive cash reserve that keeps operations breathing before profitable sales arrive. Most new dealerships take many months or over a year to turn true net profit. That means a full year of funding massive overhead every single month without fail. Industry experts say hold substantial cash reserves specifically dedicated to floor plan interest coverage. That is hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting untouched in a corporate account. It cannot be borrowed capital, and it cannot rely on speculative future vehicle sales. It has to be real liquid cash set aside before you ever unlock doors. Running out of that exact cash reserve is the #1 killer of dealerships. Undercapitalization in the retail automotive sector kills more stores than bad local marketing. Not a poor highway location, not weak vehicle lineups, simply running out of runway. Add it all up for a realistic mid-sized independent car dealership opening its doors. Real estate, floor plan deposits, tooling, licensing, inventory staging, and cash reserves reach staggering heights. Now the showroom doors are open and the complex financial machinery starts to run. Here is how a car dealership actually makes money layer by layer consistently. The first layer is new vehicle sales, the traditional base of the entire business. Brand new vehicle sales earn slim margins after manufacturer invoice adjustments and delivery holdbacks. This front-end layer is what everyone sees, but competition forces aggressive price discounting. You need to sell dozens of units just to cover monthly operational overhead expenses. That is why no serious dealership survives on front-end new car sales alone. The second layer is pre-owned vehicle sales, where higher gross profit margins live. Sourcing trade-ins and buying auction inventory allows dealers to mark up vehicles substantially higher. Used cars carry much better margins, breathing financial life into the overall retail operation. The third layer is finance and insurance, commonly known across the industry as F&I. Selling auto loans, extended service warranties, gap insurance, and protection packages generates massive income. Customers financing a car often generate more back-end profit than the vehicle sale itself. The fourth layer is the service department and mechanical repair bays operating daily. Routine maintenance, oil changes, brake replacements, and major engine overhauls bring recurring revenue streams. The fifth layer is the parts department supplying wholesale components and retail accessories continuously. None of these back-end profit centers show up in the casual public daydream of car sales. But for the dealerships that survive, back-end layers become the ultimate financial backbone. Notice how these 5 layers stack securely on top of each other to build resilience. New car sales draw foot traffic, while service, parts, and F&I generate profit. Dealerships that only rely on front-end car sales live and die by volatile market demand. The stores that build all 5 layers spread their financial security across the entire calendar. That is the quiet operational difference between a fragile storefront and a dominant automotive powerhouse. Now here is the counterintuitive reality that catches many prospective dealership owners completely off guard. A crowded showroom full of window shoppers does not automatically translate into healthy revenue generation. A family spending hours test driving multiple top-tier trims without buying creates high staff overhead. During busy weekend rushes, tied-up sales staff miss opportunities with serious cash buyers walking by. Filled showroom chairs are never the exact same thing as filled cash registers and ledgers. This is the automotive version of an economic truth found across all heavy retail sectors. Lot occupancy is not net income, and high foot traffic can easily fool inexperienced owners. There is another counterintuitive detail hiding right inside the physical dealership layout structure. The most valuable square footage is not the massive main showroom floor displaying hero vehicles. It is the compact, glass-walled finance office tucked away quietly near the back corner. A customer already committed to buying sits there and adds warranties, gap insurance, and packages. Strategic interior positioning dictates what square footage is actually worth in a modern dealership. The busiest dealerships design their entire customer journey around that single high-margin closing moment. The exact same square footage can be worth pennies on the lot or gold inside F&I. Where a transaction takes place matters vastly more than how much physical room it occupies. Now let us turn the financial machine around and examine the heavy operational cost side. Real estate holding costs and property taxes form your primary fixed monthly overhead baseline. A large franchise dealership pays tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands in monthly carrying expenses. The massive paved lot nobody walks across during weekdays is your most expensive asset type. Then comes payroll, the single largest operating expense in the entire retail automotive industry ecosystem. Sales commissions, service technician hourly pay, parts staff salaries, and management bonuses consume fortunes. Monthly payroll easily runs hundreds of thousands, eating a massive percentage of every gross profit dollar. Next is the cost of floor plan interest, manufacturer franchise compliance, and inventory insurance protection. Here is the golden rule that separates thriving dealerships from catastrophic bankruptcy liquidations. Your total operating expense ratio must stay strictly balanced against gross profit generation. Push past critical expense thresholds, and the financial math quietly turns against your entire storefront. Then comes the endless corporate bleed, utilities, high-bandwidth DMS software, heavy marketing, and lot maintenance. Advertising budgets must run constantly to pull new buyers away from competing franchise megadealers nearby. Add commercial loans, servicing payments on top of build-out debts and operational overhead bills. Put it all together, and a typical mid-sized dealership burns immense capital every single month. That monumental bill arrives on the first of the month whether a single car sells or not. And here is the brutal trapdoor that new dealership owners discover the very hard way. Those massive fixed overhead costs do not shrink when vehicle sales slump for a quarter. Floor plan interest, property taxes, and key staff salaries remain completely identical on slow sales days. So when local market demand drops, the cost per vehicle sold climbs sharply against you. A slow sales month does not just mean lower gross revenue, it triggers thin survival. Macroeconomic seasonality makes this dangerous trapdoor swing open at the absolute worst possible times. Spring and end-of-year model clearance periods are your golden sales windows driven by incentives. Midsummer and harsh winter months can see foot traffic drop sharply almost overnight. A dealership that ignores cyclical automotive trends runs out of cash during quiet retail quarters. The smartest dealer principals bank profits from high seasons to carry operations through slow months. Now you understand the real economic question at the absolute heart of the car business. It was never whether you can sell shiny cars at an attractive sticker gross margin. It is whether you can move enough heavy inventory daily to cover massive monthly holding bills. To see how automotive retail giants actually master this high-stakes game, look at AutoNation. Founded by billionaire Wayne Huizenga in the mid-1990s, AutoNation completely revolutionized automotive retail. He looked at fragmented mom-and-pop car lots and saw an inefficient, disorganized retail market. Huizenga applied big-box corporate retail chain logic to buying and selling automobiles nationwide. The product was never just a single car, it was a standardized, trustworthy buying experience. Fixed pricing, multi-point inspections, certified pre-owned warranties, and nationwide inventory sharing changed customer habits. That corporate consistency is what buyers across America learned to trust and pay for. Huizenga understood another brilliant scaling secret that looks counterintuitive to small local dealers. He deliberately acquired multiple competing dealerships clustered tightly within the exact same regional metro markets. Regional saturation gave AutoNation immense purchasing power, centralized marketing efficiency, and dominant brand recognition. By dominating local markets, supply chain costs dropped while customer acquisition efficiency skyrocketed higher. That is the real economic superpower behind multi-store automotive dealer groups across the country. Before looking at final financial models, here are 3 fatal mistakes that quietly destroy new dealers. The first is signing aggressive real estate franchise leases without securing long-term capitalization runways. New operators fall in love with grand showroom architecture and trap themselves in crushing debt. The second mistake is over-allocating capital into slow-moving luxury inventory instead of high-demand used cars. Tying up millions in unpopular vehicle trims destroys daily cash flow and incurs heavy floor plan interest. The third mistake is failing to hire and retain elite finance and insurance department personnel. Weak F&I management leaves massive back-end profit on the table during every single sale. Successful dealers scale their operational staff carefully while protecting high-margin back-end profit centers fiercely. Now let us put clean, real-world financial numbers on a typical mid-sized independent car dealership. Imagine a steady lot generating $500,000 in total monthly gross revenue receipts. Vehicle acquisition costs, floor plan interest, payroll, real estate rent, and marketing consume the bulk, leaving a modest net profit margin of roughly 2 to 4% at year-end. The showroom sticker price carries massive gross potential, but the dealership business runs on thin survival. Survival is the whole game. Master the inventory machine and your dealership will thrive forever.